take questions from the room, and then we will open it up for Zoom. If we have any questions for the players.
What does this type of win do for you guys just as we get closer and closer to ACC tournament time? Like, how does that feel in the locker room?
You know, I think for us, this is just a momentum builder. I think this kind of feels like last year, only just better. Last year, we kind of gained some momentum into the tournament and we performed pretty well, I think. And this year, we're just hoping to exceed what we did last year. I think last few games, I think we've been playing real good basketball and basketball that kind of we try to stand for, BC basketball. And a win like this is just so good for us, so gritty. So yeah, I think it's just a momentum builder.
Any other questions for the guy?
Guys, this is the second year in a row where you've beaten Wake Forest in a key game late in the season. What does it say about the team to sort of be able to come in here, execute in this home environment on their senior night, and last year taking down in the ACC tournament? What do those two wins say about this team?
That we're a gritty team. We definitely been following that Coach Grant saying. He always says gritty, not pretty, and it definitely wasn't pretty tonight, but we got the job done at the end of the day. And it's my senior night too. My senior night away, last road game. So that was definitely a big one for us as well.
All right, any other questions here? All right, we'll start with our Zoom questions. Sarab, go first.
You hit that last shot, but you guys ahead. Can you walk me through that final play?
So we didn't even get to call the timeout, and Coach had ran up. He had just called out a play because we didn't know what was going to happen. He had called out a play, and it was really for me to get downhill and try to find the open guy. I had pump fake, got him up in the air, and just stepped through. And I got pretty good touch around the rim, so I kind of lobbed it up there, hit the glass just right, and dropped in. So that's pretty much how I explain it.
He's forgetting one thing because one of our teammates, I'm not gonna call nobody out, but one of us forgot the play, so it was kind of a broken play. So it's just big credit to Kai to improvise and to get us that bucket, but that wasn't exactly how we ran it up. Let's say it like that. So big credits to the team. I'm gonna come down.
Dan, go ahead.
Guys, second half turnaround with the shooting, it was up 70%. I know in the second half. Just what flipped it in at halftime, and what kind of turned up the juice in the second half?
I think we were right where we wanted to be at halftime. We went down 12-2 super early in the game. We managed to turn that around. I really felt like we were playing good basketball for like that middle part of the first half. And then towards the end of the first half, we kind of slipped up a little bit, especially offensively. That gave him some runouts. But I thought we were right where we wanted to be. And then in the second half, I think I personally started the half kind of forcing some stuff. So it was kind of on me and coach to talk about slow down and get the motion offense, get guys involved. And I think that's where we really made our run, playing team basketball, finding each other. And then guys just made big plays. Obviously, they came back towards the end, but we just
shout out to Jay-Z too. That boy was cooking tonight as well. So big shout out to him.
Very much.
All right, we'll go to Kevin then Sarab.
Wait, no, I'm saying you didn't start tonight. On the podcast said you were probably under the weather during the week. How tough was it this week? But were you in? Was there ever a doubt you were going to play?
No, honestly, in my mind, there was never a doubt. I didn't practice yesterday and the day before. Yesterday, honestly, I felt terrible. I barely could get out of bed. But I told the guys that I wanted to travel with them and try to be there for them regardless.
Yeah, go right.
Sorry. So yeah, no, I definitely didn't feel 100%, but with the help of our athletic trainer, Nick Gelato, he helped me through it kind of. And first half was kind of rough. In the second half, I kind of found my flow, try to have my energy high, help the guys, even just through like my emotions, not even through playing. And yeah, I'm glad. We pulled it out.
Blue game QP, man.
Sarab.
Like you just mentioned, obviously, with you've been sick, DeMar couldn't play today, and obviously this game being the road game against a very good team. What do you think it says about your team that you guys were able to pull away this victory? And also you guys were facing multiple big deficits.
I mean, the team just got over in the defense on the defensive end. It all started on defense, and then we had to kind of grind them on offense, make them move. They have really good scorers on their team. So we had to try to figure out a way to slow them down on the offensive end. So that started on defense for us. And then we kind of grind them out on offense and try to tire them out as much as we can, cut hard, and it worked out well in our favor.
Great. Thanks very much. We'll have Coach Grant joining us soon.
Thank you guys.
So I appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Oh, hey. That seat was going to spend first.
Yeah, I like sitting over here. I like sitting on this side.
All right, let's take a question from Coach Grant from the media room.
Congrats, Coach. 19 seconds ago, Wake Forest ties the game. What were you looking for in that final possession, and what was it like going through that final surge that Wake Forest made against you guys?
Yeah, I had one timeout left. I was really concerned about calling the timeout and them changing defenses on us. So we just put it in our leading scorer's hand, fifth-year senior, and ran a play to get him some momentum going to his right hand. And we just told him, hey, go make a smart play. And he made a really, really good play, talented, shot. And we won the game. But the biggest thing was just to get it in his hands, somebody that we can trust, that'll be poised in that moment. And he just delivered for us.
Will you sneak into the tournament, or how's that going to work? Because you've beaten some good teams this year.
Every night it's a battle in this league. And so we just try to concern ourselves with, how we try to play. We got certain standards we try to live by, every day. And we try to stick to that. We don't really get caught up in the opponent. All of the opponents are good. So we can stick to our standards and really be true to what we're trying to do. That's all that matters. All the teams are good.
Coach, looked like you guys were pulled away with it there in the second half, went on a big 27-3 run, and then sort of Wake's guards brought the team slowly back into the game. What was it like surviving that comeback? And what can you say about the effort of Wake Forest two senior guards to make it close down the stretch?
Well, the biggest thing in that run, I thought we stopped them. So I know we had 27 points, but it's more important to know that they had 3. So I think we stopped them. Our defense was good. We had a couple of shot clock violations that gave us an opportunity to get out and run and get some easy baskets. And so it was a very good segment for us, 5 or 6 minutes where, our defense was really high level and we were sharing the rock. We found some momentum as it pertains to what we were running. We kept it really simple, and we just found a rhythm for like 5 or 6 minutes. So, happy we had that run. We needed it. Obviously, we won the game by 2. And so we needed that run.
Any other questions in here? All right, we'll go to Dan Rubin.
Coach, last time you played with Wake Forest and it was at home, it obviously didn't come out the way you wanted it to. You turn around, you beat them on the road. What kind of was the biggest difference between the 2 performances? What did you take away from that first game, and how does it apply to the game plan in this one?
That game was a little bit over a month ago, and we were trying to find our way. We had a lot of guys coming in and out of the roster at that time. They really came to our place and got us pretty good. I think they got us by 18, but they played a great game. They really shot the ball well, and we didn't have a lot of answers for them. But the last, month and a few days, we've really had great practices. We saw ourselves improving and getting better. Our captains, have done a better job of leading. So we just gotten better. We playing the game the way we thought we wanted to play it going into the season. And so we're starting to find a way to get our rhythm. And, but Wake's a really good team. Steve Forbes does a great job. And so his teams are always hard to play against.
Go to Kevin and Surab.
Coach, Makai just called the two-piece fluke game. How worried were you that you weren't gonna have him tonight, and what did you think of his performance?
I mean, well, he did, he didn't practice the last 2 days. We had 2 or 3 guys sniffling. So, in my heart, I just said, we're going to use what we got, we're going to use what we got. Nothing we can do, anything we can do about that. He did a little bit yesterday in practice. And, he said, Coach, I'm going to try to go. So brought him off the bench. I think he got in the game and started sweating and felt pretty good. But going into it, we thought we may not have him. And we was going to try to just use what we had. And so really fortunate that he was out there because he did a lot of great things. We needed him today.
Sure.
So really messy opening minutes to the game, found yourself down 12-2 early. Can you talk about sort of what went wrong there and how important James Zachary was in sort of stabilizing things there?
I think one is we hadn't played in 7 days. We had a huge win at home and we hadn't played in 7 days. So I think that was one, we had to kind of get back in the game rhythm. So our timing was a little bit off. We had 2 turnovers and they got layups out of it. And then they made an open 3. So that's 8 points right there, or 7 points right there. So we gave them 7 at the beginning. We wasn't sharp enough with the ball. They turned us over. The crowd got into it. But we did stabilize. It was 12-2. We did stabilize. We got it back to 12-7 pretty quickly. And then we won the next 15 minutes. We went into the locker room feeling really good.
All right, Dan and then Surratt to close it out.
Coach, QP mentioned that someone, and they didn't mention who, but mentioned that someone at the end didn't know or forgot what the play was or ran the wrong play at the end there. So for you, one was just how gratifying, I guess, is it that on a busted broken play with no timeouts that your team, one, comes away with the bucket, and 2, that they still have the chemistry to find the open man.
Yeah, Devin McLaughlin, great player. He was on the bench some, but he's a winning player. So we put him back in. He had a huge offensive rebound, gave us another possession. And he's been going back and forth from the 4 and the 5 position. So he was confused, who he was in the game with. Obviously, he didn't do his part. Quentin Post did do his. We got Makai to his right hand, so it still worked out.
All right, Surratt, last one.
Defense was huge in the first half. I think you held them to 4 of 14 from 3-point shooting. Did that sort of help you guys momentum-wise going into the second half?
We wanted to be a little more aggressive. I thought, they caught us on our heels the first time we played them. So we wanted to fight at them a little bit higher on the court, put more pressure on them to force the dribble, and take away some of those threes because they're a very talented team. So I think our ball pressure and, forcing the dribble, they couldn't find great rhythm threes. So they had to shoot them off the bounce, and we were able to contest them. So our guys showed a lot of grit, played with a lot of effort, and we were able to find a way to get a win on the road.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, guys. All right. What you got? Traveling back by time. Right.
Okay, guys, we got Tyree and David here. Open up for any questions.
Yeah, guys, I guess just walk me through what this feels like to go through that comeback, the incredible individual performances, but then to fall short at the end. Just walk me through the full gamut of emotions.
I just feel like in the second half they came out and played a little bit harder than us. Coach said that a little bit at the end of the game. He was talking to us, so we just got to make sure we can string together a good 40 minutes. We'll be all right.
What you got on that?
No comment.
What did you think happened with your guys' defense in the second half? They shot the ball obviously pretty well.
Yeah, they shot the ball pretty well, but I feel like there was times where we had some lapses on defense that we usually don't have. Like I said, we just got to stay locked in, and if we can put together a full game for 40 minutes, we'll be just fine.
I'll piggyback off, what Davion said. Defense was just terrible. Simple.
Yes, just what's the locker room like at this point in time? Then how do you guys kind of rally back together and get ready for the final one at Syracuse Saturday?
Just keep our heads up and take it one game at a time. Try to get ready for the postseason.
Yeah, it's tough, but we know we gotta win out now. We want to go to the tournament, get an at-large bid. I know that's over with, so we gotta win the tournament now. That's our mentality now. We know we can do it. We believe in our team, so we just trying to keep our head up and try to win out the rest of the way.
You guys have seen these senior nights over and over. Is it a lot of emotion spent? Do you think that had anything to do with tonight's game?
Well, personally, I was trying to win a basketball game, so I wasn't very emotional.
I'm with D. Will. I wasn't very emotional today.
In terms of how you guys started the game, with a little bit of that electricity, you could feel it getting those points early on. And then in the second half, allowing BC to go on a 27-3 run over a certain course of time. What was the difference between coming out with that fire versus in the second half, looking a little bit on the back foot?
That's a good question. I just feel like we weren't 100% locked in defensively into the game plan like we should have been. Like I said, we just got to put together a full 40 minutes. I feel like that's happened to us a couple times. We get off to a good start in the first half, and then I don't know what happened to us. We got to put together full 40 minutes.
And then at a certain point, it seemed like every time that, because it was three kind of separate mini streaks within that big 27-3 run for BC. It seemed like either, yourself, Davian, or Ty, it kind of fell on your shoulders to break, the team out of that bad stretch tonight. Did you kind of feel that sense tonight that it was, on you guys' shoulders to get the team out of it, this bad break?
Yeah, I mean, we're the seniors and we're the leaders. So, I guess that's our job. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was like much pressure. I just think we were just trying to go out there and do our job tonight, what we supposed to be doing.
What was the design for the last play of the game? You guys had the ball trying to go the length of the court with 2 seconds left to get a good shot up. Who is that supposed to go to?
Whoever can get an open shot and just try to shoot the ball, get a shot attempt up.
It's how you guys got down 15. And then if I remember correctly, you went on a personal 8-0 run. And then the next bucket, you found D. Will in the corner for a 3. You guys really had things going. You had to be feeling good at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ty did this thing what he been doing all year. So I just try to, just try to help him out there tonight. He played his tail off tonight. So, and he played hard, and you can tell he cares. So.
Yeah, Ty, on that note, you can sense, I think the frustration, the emotions that you're going through right now. Can you describe just kind of what you're feeling coming off of this game?
Just ready for the next one. Just gonna get ready and prepare for Syracuse. That's really about it.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Stay with me. Yeah.
Just.
Hot in there.
We'll start with an opening statement and questions.
Credit to Boston College tonight. They came in and I thought they were the more physical team, the tougher team for 40 minutes. And it kind of played out that way, especially in the second half. I felt like we only had two guys really show up to play tonight. The two seniors, Davian and Ty. That's very disappointing that we couldn't have a better effort from the rest of the team on a big night for them, a big night for us when we need to win to get to play on Wednesday in the AC tournament. And really, we just had nobody else show up. Ty and Davian were 9 for 11 from 2, and the rest of the team was 4 for 14. I thought our offense was really poor. The only way we scored was if we called a play or transition. In motion, too many guys holding the ball, not knowing what to do with it, then turning down open shots when they have them to make us, Ty or somebody else, shoot a bad shot at the end of the shot clock. We haven't played that way all year long, but some of that is a product of Damari not playing. He's a player, and he can move the ball and he can shoot it. Defensively, the second half was horrendous. I think they started a half 12 for 15 from the field. I know they were 19 for 28 from the field for the second half. That's a lack of physicality and discipline. They didn't run anything different. We did a poor job of going over the lateral screen. We're supposed to go under. We've told them. It's just like the ball screen. And then they laid it up. Instead of we monstered the post when post got going a little bit, and we ran away from a 3-point shooter standing next to him, and they made a 3. Our bigs were not very good in the ball screen tonight. They for some reason they just ran over with their man instead of putting their head on the ball, so they're laying it up in our basket. The last play of the game is not a disciplined defensive play. You did a good job of stopping him, but then we talk about this every day. You can't give him the angle. You got to hold your ground. And he jumped left his feet for no reason, and he scores. So, really disappointed this late in the year for that kind of effort and that kind of performance in a game that's important. And but all that credit for us, if there's any credit, it goes to Ty and Davian. They played outstanding. They scored 43 of our 69 points, but I thought they played their hearts out. I thought the rest of the team was a no-show.
Coach, when Ty and Davian came in before you, Davian was kind of the one who had to take the brunt of, talking because Ty was pretty emotional. You could tell he was hit pretty hard by this loss. What do you think is going through this team's mind, specifically with Ty and Davian, but also, yourself personally?
I feel bad for them. I mean, they're those guys are competitive guys. And listen, everybody's going to say, oh, you guys came back, you competed hard, made it a game, it was a great game. But no, we didn't play the right way. And I just don't feel like that. We had guys out there with blank stare in their face, just didn't play, made some really uncharacteristic plays they haven't made all year long. Missing free throws, missing layups, missing dunks. Those things all come back to kill you in a 2-point game. And so we had to make a hell of a run to come back. But, that's Ty and Davian pretty much carrying us. I'm sure they're really hurting. They want to go out with a win. And we wanted that. I wanted that for them, too. I'm disappointed for them that it went down like this because they didn't deserve it. They played their hearts out.
Steve, is it harder to play without Damari? You guys kind of, you had that emotion the first game. Is it maybe harder the second game? Figure it all out.
I mean, obviously we got to play without him. We can't make excuses, but the offense is not going to be the same with him out there. It's not just the 3-point shooting. He's one of the best scorers in the league, but it's the spacing that, he creates because they have to guard him. And it's his screening because again, they don't want to come off of him. And so he gets shots for big guys around the basket. There's a lot of things he does that really doesn't show up in the scorebook besides the threes. Now we know that. And we have guys that need to step up. The problem is we're probably playing some guys have to play some guys too many minutes. He can't really be playing that many minutes, but have to because he's not coming back. So there's no excuses. But, you get exposed a little bit more when you don't have that guy out there that can do those kind of things with Ty and Davian.
Coach, what's the cause, and then how do you move forward when you have a player that has such a poor outlying type of game like Cam Miller did tonight? That's not what you're used to seeing.
Well, I think Cam and Bobby and Andrew, all 3 of them, I would say 3 of them didn't play well. And no, not on purpose. They're great kids. you got to get over it. You know, I mean, you have to, we need you to play. We need you to play and we need you to play well. We can't win if those guys don't play well, you know, and they know that. And that's part of the accountability factor, you know, of being a player and being a player that plays a lot of those minutes. You got to be accountable, just like I do. I have to go figure out what we did wrong and try to fix it and try to help them better for, you know, to win. I'm always can do better too. And so, you know, it's a mental thing. They know that I believe in them, you know, but they've got to go out and do it. And I just didn't think tonight, they just didn't have it.
One of the things that Davian said was he felt the team needs to learn to play a full 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little late for that.
Yeah. I mean, what all is that, a mental thing or an effort thing? Or
I think it's mental. I think it's just execution, you know, and like again, we got up 12-2 and relax and, you know, they come back. But we had a nice little 6-point lead at half. Felt pretty good about it. Came out second half. I think we got it up to 10. And then we quit guarding. I think Andrew made a 3 and we were up 9 or 10. And then we come down, probably gave up 3 straight 3-point plays where I don't know what we were doing. Our bigs were doing. They were fouling guys at the rim. They were no show on the drop. Disappointing. You know, they haven't played that way pretty much all year long. And so, I don't know, you know, we'll just have to go back and look at it. But, again, I think, you know, if it hadn't been for Ty and David, it wouldn't even been a close game.
Actually, you've talked about this, how you're confident this team will fight till the end. You've said that after a lot of the close losses this year. Can you talk about the emotional challenge of coming back from a loss like this and then traveling to Syracuse to face them on their?
I mean, it's you know, it's basketball, you know, and it's just you have to have a short memory and a next play. You have to have a next play mentality, good and bad, and you have to have a next play mentality or next game mentality, you know, and it happens after you win too, right? A lot of teams have big wins and they turn around and lose. You know, it happens, and it's a long season, and so you can't. You know, you try to learn from your mistakes and you move on. You know, we've done pretty good with that. I'm not gonna, you know, harp on it. We'll watch film, we'll learn from it, and you know, we're gonna go play a team that's totally different than what we've played all year long. You know, which is a little odd to be playing a team for the first time all year on the last game of the season. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. You know, but listen, I don't want to take away from the fact that, you know, Post and Zachary and Langford, those guys played really well. You know, those guys are good basketball players. I recruited Justin. You know, he's a good, strong player, and we had to put Cam on him to kind of try to slow him down. You know, and then you know, I think Quentin Post, when we played him the first time, I think he'd only played a couple games back from maybe being hurt, and so you know, he's getting more and more confidence as the season goes along. And I thought he played well, and you know, he's a tough guy to guard because he can shoot, he can make a 3, you know, and so you know, you got to have a guy that can be mobile, but you also got to have a guy that can go down there and be physical with him in the post. And then I guess it was probably Ashton Langford that made that shot, right? And so credit to him, and he's a great driver, and he made a big play.
Which I don't think we really asked you about this, but I'm assuming at this point, Andrew's just gonna have that wrap on his hand the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And is that something that's affecting the confidence of the shot, maybe?
I don't probably, but you know, he's had it for a while. You know, Andrew's banged up, but that's just part of it, man. You know, I always use baseball as the analogy that, you know, the starter starts the first game of the year and he feels great. After that, his arm feels like string cheese. You know, I mean, it's just part of it. You know, and Andrew's a tough kid, and he's very conscientious, and you know, I'm sure he'll be really down about the way he played, and but it wasn't because he doesn't try. He does. He's just, you know, we need him. This team needs him and Cameron to play better, and also right now Bobby, we got to count on him a little bit more than we had up until that, you know, until DeMario got hurt. But he's a freshman. Okay. He's gonna have some games and where he probably, you know, he doesn't play great. You know, he played really well on Saturday. He had a double-double. You know, it's just part of it, you know, and I'm not down on him. I love you, every one of them, but you know, they gotta come to play, man. And I just didn't think that for the most part, most of the team did not.
There a frustrating sense of deja vu just with in terms of Boston College last year, that kind of prematurely putting an end to the season here, kind of putting the teams back against the wall.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't look at it that way. I have pretty short memory on a lot of that kind of thing. That was a different team, a different time. Credit to Earl, his team started out really slow. And they've gained momentum. I think they've won 7 of their last 11 or something like that. I mean, credit to them to staying the course. I knew they were playing well coming in here. They whipped Virginia on Saturday, or I guess it was a week ago, Wednesday maybe. No, I don't think so. I mean, not me personally. I one game's on to the next. I don't think any game's any bigger than any other one.
And I know there's the massive context of Damari's injury, but to go from, a few weeks ago, really being in the thick of it, fighting for a tournament spot to now having to fight to not play on Tuesday in the ACC tournament, just your thoughts on that.
It stinks.
Anything else? Thanks.
All right. Yeah.